manager, but you used to make fun of me for liking John.
I used to make fun of everybody for liking John. You ask John. There's nobody on this app that he trolled harder than me. Of course, I was supposed to be adversarial with him. And then the fundamental thing that changed was the app itself caused me to throw in the towel and say, well, you can't fucking change that. I have to accept it. And then through acceptance, then I had to figure out, okay, well, now that I've accepted this, what does that mean? And so then you start seeing, holy shit, there's actually a utility in this. Maybe I should lean in and embrace it.
Well, might say you teamed up. Have you teamed up? You teamed up with John?
Actually, hold on. I'm going to decline the teaming with Monica. I think Monica and I mod rooms together the same way I'm modding with all of you. But now that John is running for Congress and I'm doing money bomb rooms for him, I would actually say, yeah, I've teamed up with John.
Yeah.
I thought you were on my team.
You might say, you can be on both. You might say, you're still teaming up with, Monica, but it's more of like a recognition of a team player in John.
Are you in it? Anne, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Where?
Uh-oh, what's happening here? This is the most awkward flirting I've ever seen.
What is happening?
Are you ready?
She's definitely on mic.
No, I said, are you running? Sorry.
No, she's not running.
Okay.
I have a team. I don't do teams, but listen, I don't know, serendipity, I don't know if you were being passive aggressive the other night in your text in the chat, but
Sarah, passive aggressive?
I would never be passive aggressive. I would just be straight up aggressive.
so what were you trying to say with the whole, why are people not like,
I don't want to be mean. I don't know.
I'm just trying to understand.
I really want to say something bitchy and petty and mean, but I'm just not going to. But I'm going to sit here and pontificate about it on stage in front of everyone.
oh, so you're being...
Yeah, I might be a little bit passive aggressive. Sorry.
Got it. Yeah, no, I don't like to hurt people's feelings, it's true. I felt a little bit cornered, like I was, my hand was forced to say something, and listen, Monica is well aware that she and I are not friendly right now, but I could change my mind tomorrow. I'm open to having my mind changed. I've always been a Monica fan, and the last few months I've not been. She's really rubbed me the wrong way, and it is what it is.
Well,
Of course it is, but you know what? I think the thing of it is, I think you were just very well spoken and eloquent. I think that would have been a perfect thing to say in that room instead of him hawing around and just acting two-faced and then coming in here and what? It's the two-facery for me. Like, that's the thing that I take issue with, and that's the thing that bothers me.
hemming and the hawing, Holly. Hemming? Huh?
Serendipity, I was uncomfortable. My adrenaline had started to pump. It was being overblown, and I didn't want to talk about it at that point. I felt uncomfortable. It was an awkward situation. I didn't like it, and that's it. And so I feel a little more comfortable talking about it right now. I wasn't trying to be two-faced.
Fair enough. Well, like I said,
I didn't want to be cruel. I didn't want to be dramatic. It really wasn't a big deal. It was a kind of a casual, quick conversation. Someone had brought it up. I said like 2 sentences about it. It wasn't a big deal, you know?
The thing of it is, you're absolutely right. It really wasn't a big deal. And the thing of it is, okay, I can acknowledge the fact that you felt uncomfortable, but, like, feel uncomfortable on you instead of him hawing. Like, I don't know. I take issue with somebody who acts one way in one room and comes into the next room and, oh, what? What's going on? Yeah, oh, it's just much ado about nothing. Like, I don't know. That is passive aggressive to me. And it does. It triggers me because it's like, just stand on your square. On your shit.
So speaking of standing on the square, I also think that room was designed to figure out, like, oh, can we stir up some drama? And and you know, like, hey, let's talk about people in another house. Let's talk about what's going on, and get people talking about, like, isn't it weird that Mojo and Monica have shared stages together? And then you get people that are like, yeah, I think that's weird. And there was a room tonight that was a little less of that, but it was asking a poll question of, like, what do you think of In the Muff? And, like, the choices were pseudo-intellectuals. That doesn't sound very fucking complimentary. What was the other choice? The other choice was worst room ever. That was the choice that I chose. I leaned into it. Awesome space was another one. And then what was the third one? I forget. There was 4 choices, but 3 of the choices were, like, not flattering at all. And it's like, I don't fully understand why there needs to be, like, this conversation about what happens here in this space, because there's figures that people may find controversial, whether it's John, whether it's Monica, whoever it might be. If people came into these rooms and listened to these conversations, most of the time we're talking about nothing. Sometimes we'll have, like, an elevated conversation. Shit, sometimes we're reading books, for fuck's sake. And then there are times when people are just completely crashing out. I think this space is no different than most spaces on the app. It just happens to be this is the group of people that assemble. And I feel like there might be, like, a sense of competition emerging with some people where they want to, like, oh, well, you come to this space, don't go to that space. And I don't roll that way, man. I think this app is best when people, come and go, come into this space, go to another space. And the funny thing is, like, the space that's curating rooms to question, whether this room is toxic or not, is the space that I spend most of the time curating spaces in. So it's just fucking weird. When I got pinged in that room, I thought it was funny because I got pinged by the person that created the room, and then I come in and there's people that play along into this game of, like, yeah, it's so weird that Mojo and Monica can coexist, and it's like, I don't think it's weird at all.
What's this game that like you seem to be, like, referring to and aware of, but not participating in, kind of observational, and it's insightful to, like, hear Brad go really hard in the paint, which I don't really understand exactly how you meant by that. That was like a aggressiveness, like a sexual, like, thing, I don't know. But there's new knowledge, it seems, from that observation, though you don't cultivate it. Sounds like it's not for you.
But Tommy, here's what's happening, right? Here's the reality. Many of the people on this app have known each other for 4 years now, and we've gone through these different phases. And some of the phases are not, like, not me at my best, not the other person at their best, and there's all these, like, overlaps, right? And, like, I don't want to tell too many tales, but, like, and you'd agree that there was a period of time when you and I didn't get along, right?
Right.
Correct. And I've told you that I took responsibility that was my fault, right?
Yeah.
And you would agree it was my fault, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So 100% on board. But then when you have that conversation, then you open the door to be able to say, okay, we get down, put that in the past. But it takes, like, owning up to, like, yeah, I was a dick to him. I'll be honest. Like, I won't get into the details. That's all I'll say, and I'll just leave it there. But I was an asshole to her. And then when the time was appropriate, or when I felt enough time had gone by where I could own it, I was like, okay, that I treated you unfairly, and, this, that, and the other thing, right? But there's a lot of these things that go on where, there's people that I am friends with that have feuds with people that are on this stage, and some of the people in this room may not, get along with each other. There's drama. It's the way I like to think about it is this is a big family with a bunch of retarded cousins, and my navigation through this is to recognize when I'm being the retarded cousin and being the person that's on the verge of not getting the invite to the family gathering, or when I'm enabling the behavior that causes people to get ostracized from the family party. But also, there's times when I operate on another level where I try to, let me try to bring these things together. And sometimes it has good results, sometimes it has very bad results. I won't bring up the very bad result, but there was one involving Anne and a particular person where I thought, if I just brought them together, maybe they could have the type of reconciliation that Anne and I had. But in order for that to happen, you have to have two people that are willing to do that, right? And so there's just a lot of fucking shit, and I think we can overcome some of it, and then some of it, the people involved are never going to get over it, and we just have to accept that.
Do you think, just to be clear, did you say retarded cousin? Is that the term that you use?
I'm okay with that. Did I say retarded cousin? I don't
know. I'm just trying to clarify.
We'll roll with retarded cousin. Yeah.
Well, no, I just want to use the right terminology because I'm trying my best, but I'm only fully a retarded cousin. But
yeah, no, go with that one. We'll go with.
Well,
we'll say RC. We'll say RC to just make sure nobody gets offended.
Okay, so all right. My question is, don't you? It doesn't sound like you're, because to me there's another side to this that I feel like you haven't really posed as an option because quite frankly, I feel like I really haven't gotten the chance to be the retarded cousin. And sometimes I feel
that's not true, Tommy.
Like we're all talking here about sometimes my retarded cousin just pops out, can't help it, but here I am thinking, God, what would it be? What would it be like to be that retarded cousin? Just for a day. Just for a day, right?
I don't know if a day is long enough to be the retarded cousin.
Man,
you gotta kind of do it. You have to have enough time being the retarded cousin to then have the self-actualization that you're retarded.
Well, I'm not saying going full retard here. I'm just I think you get what I mean.
Not true.
I mean, here I am trying to do these dips and dives around a term that I guess wasn't even talked about. Here I am creating retarded cousin, and all along you could have told me what you actually said, so we could just solve this whole conundrum. Gay cousin?
I have gay cousins. One of my favorite cousins was gay. He's passed, but he was great. He was great at organizing. Imagine that. Dan, you were going to jump in.
No, man, I'm out of ideas. Sorry.
Is anyone else?
Little Miss Anne, what do you mean? To be passive aggressive?
Actually, maybe no, you're right. You are just aggressive. I'm not passive aggressive.
What are your thoughts on the hemming and the hawing as a heightened form of passive aggression? Do you think there are other forms other than the hemming and the hawing?
Well, you first have to acknowledge that the order is important because sometimes the hawing comes before the hemming, and that's
That gets way out of hand. Yeah.
You have to ask, what about the hurrying? What about the hurrying and the hauling?
Dude, that's the best negotiation tactic ever.
All women's problems have some variation of him or men in them.
oh man, you know what was glorious about the roast room earlier was looking on the stage and just realizing like how much drama, how much I know about these people and how much they dislike each other, and like it's almost like watching Dynasty. If you watch it from like season 1 all the way through, there's so much to keep track of that you almost forget that some people were friends at one point, and you know, or a period of time where things weren't as polarized. But it was epic just how many sets of enemies were on the stage all at one time, and how well behaved some of them were. They were just sitting there quietly and just observing.
Well, except for Gabi's hitting in the line that apparently was rousting about. There are a couple of us on this stage, I think, that are hard to imagine what a hemming and a hawing really is. It might be a little different for each person. Would you say?
Sorry, I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, like if I were to ask, which I won't, because I'm not one to put people on the in the hot spot. But if I were to go around the room and say, give me your best 5 seconds of hemming and hawing, I think we would get a lot of different examples coming out.
You're cracking me up.
Can we just say that I did not like it all earlier, and Brad just was screaming about me as if I didn't.
I want to say horrible things. I would just like to know that he did not say one word about me. I would just like to know that.
I didn't move him down. I didn't say one thing about him. I didn't make a comment. And he's like, oh yeah, we got this twat waffle. Okay.
Oh, he came hard. He came hard for me, man.
Did he?
What preceded it was I took a break and I left the moderation in the hands of women.
Such an asshole.
And when I left, women were moderated, and I think with me gone, Brad felt that he could get away with a little bit more, and I think when he got on a roll, he just didn't want to stop. Like, for example, Miss Shirley interrupted Brad, and Brad cut a heel promo. This is wrestling talk for when the bad guys speak against the good guy. And so Brad went into heel mode, and he starts shooting this promo against Shirley. And from what I've heard, and I wasn't there for it, but from what I've heard from all accounts, Brad did this takedown of Shirley because she had interrupted him. And then when people tried to moderate him and move him and then bring him back up, he got further agitated, and then so he just started lashing out. And again, if you were watching it in pro wrestling, it would be he cuts a promo on a baby face, and then he gets he gets maybe hit with a chair, and now he's upset, and now he's just going crazy, and the next thing you know, he's like going scorched earth on everyone. That's pretty much how I heard it, is that it like worked up. And I don't know if I would have changed it if I was there. I probably would have intervened because I do protect Shirley a little bit from certain things. But I don't know if I would have been the heavy-handed mod either. I probably just would have said, okay, Brad, that's enough. Maybe I would have muted him. I doubt I would have moved him down.
He was not moved down right away. He toured the entire stage before he was ever moved down the first time. Because people started interjecting, I think, in defense of Miss Shirley, like, whoa, she was trying to do this, you shut up, you blah, 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 and then somebody else would be like, hey, like, okay, I think that's, don't tell me what to do. And that went on for several minutes before he was thrown down the first time. And then, of course, that just continued to escalate, and every time he came back up, he was ready to unleash. But
it sounds like it's unclear to me. Perhaps I'm already taking on the role of the retarded cousin. But it's unclear to me if people are, because it kind of sounds like a bit from Ann, and I think a lot from Mr. Mojo here, that, you know, though he may have been one versus all, the act or the spectacle was almost like valiant in like, wow, this is happening, sort of like, and this has to happen, sort of a moment maybe, because otherwise, I mean, you know, he'd get tossed or something. But it sounds like there's kind of this like, wow, this is kind of this majestic going down in a blaze of fireball, you know, kamikaze sort of a thing going on here. Am I a retarded cousin on this?
Well, listen, there's you guys have heard of like the concept of like suicide by cop, right? Where somebody, you know, they do something stupid just so they can get shot. Brad wasn't doing that, but there is an equivalent of that on this app where people, if they're getting roasted, they will break all the rules purposely so they can get thrown from the stage, so they can get they basically want to get suicided because they can't take the pain anymore, and that's the way that I observe it. Like, you'll see it a lot.
Sometimes they throw themselves down to the audience. They throw themselves down, and then they come back up.
Wow.
This is very true. I used to do this back in the day. I shouldn't even confess this, but I would throw a few people, like if everybody's modded, I'd throw a couple people down, then I'd throw myself down, and then it would and then it would just look like, okay, well, whoever's remaining has to be the person throwing people down, because you can't if you stay up there, they're gonna wonder if it was you.
So you gotta throw yourself down after you throw.
Yeah, you gotta throw yourself down.
Wait, but to what end? What the? You know, because
did it.
were you flying too close to the sun and like you almost got like made out? You had to press the restart.
No, because here's the thing, right? So like, I don't want to do it because this app now glitches and we might not get everybody up here, but like, just imagine Anne gets moved to the audience, you get moved to the audience, then I get moved to the audience, and then if you were to look at the stage and you would see Holly, Pockets, Daniel, John, and Dippity, you would then say, one of those assholes threw me down. You wouldn't even suspect that I was the one that threw you down because I'm now sitting next to you in the goo. Does that make sense?
Sure. I mean, I totally understand the point of what's the word? Asymmetrical, sort of tactics here. But who's it for? I mean, is it because
it's to get the mob to say, oh, what a dick, we were having a good room, and then so-and-so ruined it by throwing everybody in the goo. And then the person didn't even do it. It's like, there's a lot of yeah, there's a lot of gamemanship here.
There's a little power play of sorts.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd call that. It's like, it's deception.
Sorry, I'm being retarded.
Clubhouse changed that now. I don't think anybody can throw you down anymore, Roger.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Nobody's going to be able to throw Ann down from winning her election governing these midterms.
Tiffany,
Mm-hmm.
you can throw me down.
You want me to try? I don't think I can. Let me try.
Oh, I was.
Oh, I did. I did throw him down.
I'll save you.
Oh no, I threw Mojo down. I invited you back up. Where did he go? Oh, there he is.
I'll protect you.
How did that?
I thought that Clubhouse, maybe they changed that. When they originally came out with houses, they made it so you couldn't remove the room creator. Yeah.
He's still in here. He's on stage.
Yeah.
Back up. Are you coming off mic there?
No, now I'm angry because they got removed from the stage.
Who did that?
Yeah, who did that?
Oh, you just cannot be trusted.
Well, they sort of.
So Tommy, let me play the full scenario down for you, right? Let's say I throw you and Ann down, and then I throw myself down. Then somebody brings me back up, and then I remove everybody from the stage, and then I claim to know who did it, and then that person's an asshole, and then I reassemble the stage, putting people that I trust as mods, and now everybody will think that the person that we blamed it on cannot be trusted, and then they no longer get mod badges, at least for a week.
I would say that's pretty
Psychological warfare.
pretty retarded, man.
I've never personally done it, but I know when it's happening, and then I know exactly who did it. Like, I always know who did it.
Some people don't even know the half. When Alex New York was on the app and Healthy Debates was doing rooms and Club Controversy was doing their rooms, Alex and I would talk to each other in the back channel. And if we were like bored with things, he would say, "Hey, I'm going to send some of my people into your room to talk shit, and then you send some of your people into this room and we'll talk shit, and then we'll close both of the rooms, and then we'll open one big room, and then we'll mod some people, and then we'll discuss what happened with the invasion rooms." And we would just totally create this invasion angle, and it was pretty good.
One might say that's a true team up, a real team up, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, this was like, I like to think of it, Darren's got it. It was Japanese wrestling does it all the time. Like, if All Japan and New Japan were hitting lulls, what they would do is they would say, "Hey, let's do an invasion angle," and so that's kind of what we worked out here. It was an invasion angle.
Did Goo ever get any of your rooms, Roger?
Who?
Goo.
Who's that?
He was a troll.
He is Lucifer.
He always tried to get the mod badge, and then every time he did, he would literally throw every person on stage.
Who is it?
Goo?
I don't.
Him. Yes, you do.
You do know him. I guarantee
And you don't
know him.
and you don't like him at all.
Oh, Goo. Okay.
And he
He's
would
one of the
throw everyone.
Groypers, right?
No, he like hangs out with like Prince AJ.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? That guy had a nice beard, but he was the dumbest guy on the fucking app.
But yeah, he'd throw every person on stage down as soon as he got to be. Well, he started out, he would just boom the room. Like, as soon as somebody threw him a mod badge, he would boom the room. But then he changed up his tactic, and instead he would throw every person on the stage down to the audience, and he'd go off of mute, and he would just stand up there and maniacally laugh, like, for several minutes before he boomed the room.
Yeah, and then you were just
Is he still on this app now?
I do. He is.
He is.
Where is he at?
He's not here as regularly as he used to be, but he still pops in.
Somebody back channel me the profile so I can block him.
I mean, it's kind of a wholesome game of shoots and ladders. Really, just trying to get to the top, just every time.
The thing of it is, every time he comes into a room, everybody screams, "Don't mod Goo!"
Yet he finds his way to cackle on top of the pile. Somehow.
Yeah, he does.
Or we would not go when we wanted the room moved.
Right, sometimes we can Goo in. Like, come on, I'll throw you a bean.
I'm back in on Goop when you're sure. We did do that. So bad.
Y'all had some of the dumbest people in your fucking rooms, man. Do you guys remember that?
I know, Anne. What's wrong with you?
Do you guys remember that retard named Vinny?
Seriously, out of all the breakers, he thinks that Vinny is the most retarded. Like, come on, out of all that group, he thinks Vinny to be the dumbest? No.
No, hold on. I remember when Vinny first got on the app, before you motherfuckers even knew him. And he would get on the app and he'd ask a bunch of questions, and he was just like a dopey guy that didn't really have any thoughts. And then every fucking extreme weird idea that came along, he was like, yeah, that's my new fucking jam. It was just, he's the ultimate follower. I've never seen anything quite like it on this app. Poor Bibi.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't like it.
It's kind of endearing if you think about it. I mean, how often do we meet like a person that is so blank canvas moment to moment? That's almost like, that had to have been a spectacle, right?
Are you eating right now?
It was underwhelming, Tommy. It was underwhelming. He was just like, there was no personality. There was no fucking there was no nothing. There was nothing there. And then, but then he'd still just be present. And then other dumb people would be like, oh yeah, that's my buddy. And you this is how I knew that Ricky was a pretty dumb guy. Is him and Ricky were like boys, and it's like, oh, okay, these are like the two dumb guys that get together. You can imagine them being at a bar, like just drinking beers and not even using words because like it wouldn't even matter, like because neither one of them have an original thought.
And
damn, dude, that's pretty dumb.
No, I think that Ricky is fucking clever and hilarious.
Oh, see, I don't. I think Ricky is the most feminine man on this app.
Oh my god, I love it. I love it.
He knows I do though too. Like Ricky and I have this little love hate. That's why he calls me Serenity instead of Serendipity. Serenity.
Well, I mean, it is.
Serenity.
He does every time. And people will correct him, and he's like, no. I call her Serenity.
Of course.
He's got a fun little nickname for me, too. He calls me his little baby love munchkin. Yeah? Does he call you that? Does he call you his little love munchkin? Like he calls me?
You can be his little baby love munchkin. You can have it.
Well, it's kind of a false option because only one person can be that to him. So. Right, Mojo?
Yeah, that checks.
Awkward cousin.
No, retarded cousin. That's a lenient framing there.
Yeah.
I've gained, but then you've taken away my extra chromosome. I'm just a little cookie. Is anyone else was anyone else and is anyone else still curious based on the tone and like the used car salesman tone that other dude that was in here is like, yeah, we almost planted 1 billion trees in a single day. Is anyone else like questioning how many were planted? Like if anywhere?
Doesn't he remind you, like if you were to replace that red coat with the coat with all the question marks on it, didn't he give you those vibes? You know that guy, the infomercial dude?
Shit, man.
What's he talking about?
I'm just thinking of the Riddler when you say that.
Yeah, there was what is the most difficult conversation on Clubhouse? Who created this?
37 trillion. The 100 trillion.
It's funny. My first question was, who created it? And then I fucking read the choices and I knew exactly who created it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, I'm just on here. I voted Clubhouse Road Rage. That was an Uber car. Probably cuss everybody out. Wow, I'm in the Uber. So yeah, And that's what it hurt.
Clubhouse Road Rage, some funny shit.
Who are people that used to be present on this app that you're glad that they're gone?
Beetlejuice.
I'm not going to
Don't
say.
say it, Ann.
And I will say the name, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to shut the fuck up.
Well, you can't say it because it's like every other
not
day
here.
is different.
He's not here.
Wait, who?
You know what I'm talking about.
That doesn't narrow down. Who?
And come on.
Atheist.
Well, he's passed away.
Shit. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Did you really mean that?
I didn't know.
If he's an atheist, he's certainly not resting in peace.
I don't want to dishonor the dead. He was conservative atheist. Because the people that were on this app that we spoke to, that we never met, the people that have died on here, I don't want to dishonor them or make fun of them. So, they were people.
Oh, God.
And I mean, no,
Do
for
you
real.
remember Matt Brooks, Mojo?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
I think not Brooks. I think I remember. He sounds familiar.
And you remember Bootleg, right?
Yeah, you told me about that.
And so there's been a couple that have got to pour out some for the dead homies.
No, but I really want people to dishonor the dead. And the people that we never got to talk to. Because when we were talking, chatting, if we were live and in person, we wouldn't talk to them the same way we do on the app.
How would you talk to them, you think?
A little bit more decorum and respect. That's for sure. And
I'd be a little bit more
I
decorable
don't
as
know
well.
about the time.
I think I'd be more decorable as well. I think.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I would, because because after, when you start to, talk to people after a while, and it's not worth trying to cuss people out or talk to them like you don't know them or fight them or talk to them like they ain't shit. You talk to them like they're some people. And that's what I realized on social media. I don't want to talk to people like they're not a person. That they're a person on a phone, and then another phone. You're talking on the iPhone or Samsung, whatever the fuck your tablet or
Dude, I know, bitch. I'm an Android bitch.
Oh, you know what? Fuck that. I'll use Android. Fuck that.
All right. Well, hey, you know what? We're all human, right? Isn't that what you just said? We're all human.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
And you just disrespected me.
No, but I didn't know. I didn't know it was unintentional.
But I won't use an iPhone.
All right.
If y'all want to spend $1,500 on the iPhone, that's okay. If y'all want to make the little payments too, y'all want to spend your $50 for AT&T and then the extra $8 on the iPhone, that's cool. Do that.
Hey, man.
But
I wouldn't care if it was Sprint PCS you're still hanging on to, okay? When we're here, we're family. And, like the Olive Garden,
yeah, but I'm saying I don't want to dishonor the dead.
Well, can I make a dead guy joke just because it's
No,
right at the tip of the tongue? Okay. So he was also kind of fat, I think, and if he died because of like a coronary or something tied to like obesity, what you could have said is not rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in peace, but recipes. Which is actually what I thought you were saying. Okay, recipes. Maybe it was too many recipes. Maybe homeboy got a little too, It's all those people that get taught by their mimans who still cook with, real lard. That's a hard upbringing to shake. When you got brought up on lard cooking, you know what I meant? You know what I mean?
Tommy, you ever cook with ghee?
It's clarified butter. No, only because I
don't like just frozen butter.
I don't know if it comes frozen. Probably does, but it's like the clear portion of butter that you distill essentially. Then you store it as like this pure form of butter. I mean,
What about beef tallow?
Oh yeah, I mean, fuck. If I had some extra beef tallow fucking sitting around here, I absolutely would. I just don't have,
I do. I could.
They probably do. So.
No, go ahead, Tommy. Sorry.
No. I want to know what you were made to think of. What we're making.
No. So you're making me think of when I used to work a long time ago. When I worked at Popeyes, there was I worked at Popeyes for a long time.
Hey. Go on.
Like there was this whole this white creamy substance that was like cubic, and it was this lard, like just like this grease, like you melt it, it becomes
Crisco.
It kind of like yeah. It reminds me of Crisco, right?
How would it come in like a?
Tommy, would you ever consider masturbating using Crisco?
Oh, okay. Let's not start the conversation. He might say yes, but let's not start the conversation. Don't tempt him.
I feel like the thermal viscosity would be good.
See, that's kind of. I mean, I haven't used Costco in a minute, Leia, and I was trying to think like, what is it? Because I don't recall it being very like it's yes. It has a high temperature, like a heat of what's the term? But yeah, it's not as you what's the word, man? I'm being retarded cussing right now. As you heat it up in your hands, it doesn't enhance its lubricity characteristics. Actually, it's been probably over 20 years ever since I haven't even seen Crisco.
Hold on, I have a question. And do you cook?
Yeah.
Like really though?
Yeah.
I mean, I have an 11-year-old, so I mean, yeah.
But I mean, do you like get down in the kitchen?
I don't really like it, but I mean, I do. I don't grill.
Like for example, there's some people that you just know that like are cooks. Like I don't know. I imagine that Liz can cook, for example. I don't know why. I think the idea though.
What about Kelly? Do you think Kelly's a cook?
Kelly loves to cook. Kelly's a good kid. So Kelly's so good at cooking. If she heard this conversation, she would leave the app because she doesn't like hearing other people talk about food because she feels like they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. So, Ann, what dish do you think you make the best out of any dish that you have, tried to make?
Some sort of casserole. White girls are always into casseroles.
I'll have you know, if you look through the pictures on my little PTR thing, I have become quite the little homemade bread connoisseur, and I made homemade bread rolls stuffed with homemade meatballs, homemade marinara, and homemade mozzarella cheese.
We're talking like an Italian little combo, little cheesy combo, a little burst to get the seams a little.
Oh, not sub, but roll.
Oh, roll. Okay. Gotcha. There's been a lot of.
And they're beautiful.
How about
Brad, get up here. This is the only way we can end the day. You started the day. We gotta start the day with Brad. End the day with Brad. Get up here.
Brad, get up here.
Okay, everybody is up.
the self-sacrifice, samurai style?
So, Brad, I don't want to dig up old dirt, but a conversation came up, and I understand all the old dirt, like all the stuff where there's like real storylines, but like people want to know why Shirley.
What about Shirley?
Oh, like
If I removed your hat so that I can let you go ahead.
how did she catch the strings? Because I get all the other ones. I've been here long enough to know. But like, how did Shirley catch the strings?
Oh, she only caught one straight, and then she just kept it up. She just like caught it over, and I tried to to be as if I was her child or her husband.
Collision course of collateral damage, it sounds like.
I wasn't sure. I don't think she's control. Like I can see her like coming out of the oven with her fucking
It's wrong to let flies to shapes. Well, gentlemen, it depends. I have wasted your time.
I can see that.
And I caught a stray, and I didn't even do anything.
The slave wasn't drugged. You tried to
Is that true?
this morning.
It's very true. I know. It was just kind of.
You're a hero. My gift to you.
What is a string?
You can tell me you won't be hazed. I have
Do you know the concept of a straight bullet?
Of course.
Okay. So let's say you were, let's say you were, working your way down the stage. Anne catches a bullet, Tiffany catches a bullet, and then Shirley catches a string.
Serious crime. If it came to light, the great
I would say that, okay, this is just kind of like a kamikaze, anything goes, I'm just gonna go all out and blitz on this.
Yeah, it's collateral damage. It's accepted in warfare, for sure. I mean, especially if you minimize it, the way like the IDF does in Gaza, it's amazing.
I mean, I think it's kind of more about the assumption of, oh, is this person, like, it's kind of like an over-personalization. Like, maybe it wasn't about you. Maybe it was about the bullet. Maybe, there are times where people are just in the way. They're just deer in the road. At an inopportune, duskly hour. And your lights haven't come on quite yet.
Dude, we were talking earlier about like when Shirley gets on the app talking about like her kids, and she'll say like unintentionally funny shit like, I just know I don't want my kids going to a school with the Mexican kids. And she's not meaning it to be racist. She's just referring to like the school with the Mexican kids.
Right.
Good school. She wants her kids to go to the good school, and like, and everybody's just like, oh, bless your heart, Shirley.
And that's not very good. It's like, well, God, we right by that one. And we know that's not good. Hey, isn't she like in the same? Actually, I mean, it's kind of a dumb, pie line here, but just because it's a big state, but Arkansas, this area where these whiteys are trying to be all white in like the northern, like the Ozark region or something. The land, return to the land, return the land, return of the Jedi.
Your point?
I mean, I haven't really heard anything beyond that first little gay little BBC guy that was like, he needs to learn to learn how these whites making heroin. Why?
Luke Baxter in a room, and like half the room was like, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I want my own land where it's only us. It was so interesting to hear like a group of black people like begging for segregation. It was fucking amazing. Who do you think the Anons are in this room? We've got like 3 of them.
I do have somebody blocked here.
Oh, you do?
BB. I blocked BB. I can't stand BB. I think she's awful.
Oh, just it is. She says always drunk.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
I don't like segregation because me growing up with I went to a high school and I'll say this so you understand where I'm coming from. So I'm from Northern California. Grew up in the Bay Area.
Me too.
Yeah. And what city? What city, by the way?
Oakland when I was a little kid. And my teen years I was in Hayward.
All right, go Hayward. Okay, I'm in Hayward. I got for a second. So I appreciate diversity and want to grow up and experience different cultures. So here's the thing. So you get 2 things in life as far as like cultures. Either you have to go out, fly out, and go see the culture, or the culture comes to you. I have the advantage of the cultures being there in the cities that I lived in, and I got to know the people that descended from these cultures and their experience.
Where were you at, like Berkeley?
I was born there. I was born in Berkeley. So I was in Berkeley a few times. Yes. So that's my birthplace. Berkeley's my birthplace. I was born in Ultimate Hospital. So, segregation is not good. It's not right. If you see, like, self-segregation or isolation is one thing. You choose to stay in a place and you choose to be isolated. Segregation, not good. Someone else chooses where you are and how much of resources you get to have and not have. Because when you choose segregation, black people, if you're listening, if you're black and you're in this room or white in this room, don't ever choose segregation, because that person will choose how much water, how much bread, how much cereal, how much sugar, how much spices you get to have.
And watermelon too.
Hell yeah, I love me some watermelon. Look.
Yeah, I'm about to smash some watermelon right now.
Yes.
Unlimited.
No, because on some real shit, people will decide what you get to have. Segregation is not good. So when black people decide what you want, I agree with segregation. No, you should not, because you have someone else choosing. I'm going to choose how much watermelon you get to have, and I love me some watermelon, right? That means I'll also choose fried chicken.
Hell no.
This is a lot of stereotypes, man. You get some no, but
You gonna get some coconut oil next? What's going on?
No.
Cocoa butter.
No, but real. But when you choose segregation, you're choosing someone else. You're letting them decide what you get to have in life and where you get to stay. Anybody, white, black, or anything, don't ever choose segregation, because they're choosing what you get to have in life, where you live, where you get to eat, where you get to learn. So it changes you over the years. What you get to experience and what you get to know. Like, you're not the same person. In diversity, you choose where you love. You choose where you go when it's relationships, whether it's a person what color, sometimes what gender, but like what language you speak sometimes if you're in the Muslim world, but it's diversity is a great thing. I know.
Don't you think though that with the internet and with the way that travel has become easier for people, that a lot of this stuff has changed? It used to be if you lived in a town to go elsewhere, and if you did go elsewhere, maybe you'd go to the next town over, but you wouldn't go too fucking far away. And now, like, the proximity thing has changed to the point where, you know, you may find somebody online that doesn't even live in your state, and you hit it off, and I mean, this shit happens on Clubhouse. Like, you know, people start meeting each other that live states away. I don't know if anybody on this stage can relate, right? And
Yes.
you and I have this thing. Well, not similar.
Yes, we do.
Well, we fall in love with people who live far away.
Well, I mean, it wasn't the plan.
Yeah, it wasn't the plan. We didn't like. What was this? And I hate you for this when you say this. You say you're my brother. I hate you for this.
I did talk to that person the other day. It was actually nice and professional.
When you talk to that person?
All the time. No, I'll be honest. She's reached out to me a few times after my dad passed. She's reached out to me to check on me, and I thought it was really kind.
Oh, when? Like, when's the last time you talked to that person?
I talked to her 2 days ago.
Just let her know I love her.
Oh my god.
You know I love her. Like,
this is so gay.
Shut up.
So gay.
Shut up.
So gay.
Be quiet. No, but anyway.
No, Joe, you know that person that we were talking about the other day?
But anyway. I'll talk about. Y'all threw me off, but when you get to know different cultures and people, it instills something in you to not be ignorant, to not know what they're coming from, or what they know, or how they're feeling, or what their grievances are. You're going to understand where they're coming from. But the downside to diversity is you forget who you are sometimes, where your culture, where your people's at, and you get lost. And sometimes you need to ground yourself. You need to get grounded in who your people are, what your story is, and where you come from. And you need to tell your story, what your part is in whatever part of the world your people come from.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that interested in identity. I think people over-index the importance of identity.
I just get so concerned that if I ever tried becoming an android person, that I'd just get lost in a mess. You know what I mean? It's that's a big leap.
You're distracting now. You're distracting. You're really deviating. I'm not talking about Android or iPhone.
FYI, we did have Mark Rice on the stage just a second ago, but he left, and I had messaged him telling him, yeah.
Who's Mark Rice?
I added him, and he added me, so that's a start. I think the last time he and I got into a conversation, I cursed him out, so we'll have to gently ease things in.
What has come over you? What do you call this, Joe?
That was like 7 months ago or something like that.
What do you call this re-emergence of light?
I would say there's a couple of reasons. I mean, if you look at my PTR, like I've got this new glow about me, and I'm embracing it.
Is it a time-odd glow?
It's this aura.
Well, welcome, Timok. Let's get him modded up. No, you know what? I'm just not as
Not a girl. So.
I'm not as interested in having like these crazy adversarial conversations. I am interested in watching other people have them, if I'm being honest, but I don't want to be a participant in the adversarial thing unless it spontaneously happens, and I try to avoid it. That's all.
Oh my gosh. I saw the PTR. Hi, Mac. Welcome to the stage.
How you doing?
Are you the Timac from the movie that I saw when I was a kid?
Oh my God! Let's fucking listen.
I want to know.
Hold on. Listen. The last thing in the world that you want to do when you bump into somebody that's famous is you don't want to like become a fan like in like 3 seconds. You can just hold it back a little bit.
Hold it back. I'm sorry.
Slow play this,
Leave
man.
him alone. Leave him alone.
All right, go ahead.
Marvel, the last Dragon's Speed released on October 19th. Nationwide AMC theater, so tell your friends and bring everybody out.
Okay. I don't want to be like a fanboy when I was thinking. I'm sorry, because I noticed you like a couple.
Culture just does it. He likes all the attention on him.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I'll be honest. It's kind of like a relationship. It's like I want my special relationship with Timok. I don't want him to have a special relationship with all of his fans. I'm the president of the fan club.
Because the only thing I just want to confirm something, because I saw Timac on Clubhouse like 2 years ago, and I was wondering if it was him because I know there's like celebrities on here, but I don't want to be like, oh, it's a fan. Oh my gosh, it's Timac. All right, it's cool.
My name is Timok, and I just wanted to let you know that.
Timac.
I come in. I don't know a lot about politics, and
Oh no. I'm just like, if it's
Mojo can be pretty funny and interesting sometimes. So I like the guy, and I come to his room. I don't come to Clubhouse much, but I come to his room and hang out.
okay, but if it's you, if it's the topic I saw in the movie, I'll be tripping. So glad to have encountered you in some form. So
Thank you.
Yeah. That's all. I'm gonna be tripping.
But ain't cool, man.
Yeah.
It is.
But anyway, let me.
What are you Mojo? Who's Mojo arguing with today?
He's arguing with me.
No. Listen. I've stayed out of the wave arguments today, but you missed an epic day. I would argue today was the most epic day of 2025 on all of Clubhouse.
Oh man.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, we had a full Brad crash out directed towards multiple people, all female, including Shirley, which was very interesting. We had a book reading. We read the Tao. Finished the book today, we then
I missed it again.
Yeah, we've had you missed that book, but the next book we're doing you might be interested in. We're doing The Art of War. So
Yeah, I read it.
What author though?
Sun Tzu.
Oh, okay. What version?
Well, now you got
The original.
now you got me stumped. But the King James is my preference.
Oh, okay. So I only asked that because I read when I was like 21. I read this book called 40 Laws of. Everybody knows that book. Like most everyone I know knows that book, 40 Laws of Power, right?
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of Robert Greene, 40 Laws of Power?
Yeah, but there's a whole lot of books that have a number and then some general,
Oh,
titles.
okay. So there's, if you know Robert Greene, there's this book called The 40 Laws of Power, and when you look up the Sun Tzu, the Art of War, his name pops up because maybe he did a version, but when you look up on the Amazon or Google, that name will pop up. And I never finished the book. It was called the 50th Law. Robert Greene studied this guy, 50 Cent, and the 50th Law. It had to do with facing fear. And the one thing I learned is you don't run from fear, that pain, that fear, that agony. You run to it and adapt to it and face it. You go into it. So it was a book I could recommend, The 50th Law by Robert Greene. But he studied 50 Cent.
That got me into trouble when I was a kid, because I got in fights with guys that could whoop my ass. So I faced the fear. They were older than me. I was like 15. Yeah, I remember a couple of guys that was like, yeah, okay, let's go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, right? You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
When I know you're talking about this, certain kind of fears that aren't so much about.
Yeah, you don't go looking for fights.
Well, I look for it, but I didn't look for it.
Yeah. It's more so you face your own fears, like with
100%.
Right. Yeah, you face, like my mentor said when I was listening to the podcast, you face the fears within yourself, and you face them, and you become stronger.
A lot of time, people, because people pretend they want, right? They have all the layers on top of layers, so they don't even know some of their fears because it's so pretense, right? So the thing, a lot of times, is about becoming aware of yourself and your thoughts and things like this. Once you start paying attention to your thoughts, you probably will be facing a lot of fears just by doing that.
Yeah. Slowly, day by day, just taking one fear at a time, just like, because I'm just working on myself. I just got a relationship, just like trying to face what can be better as a man, just trying to be a better person day by day.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Mojo, you trying to be a better person day by day?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if it's appropriate for this room, but I got an update on the AM radio thing.
Oh, cool. So it's positive. It sounds.
Yeah. I finally talked to and I didn't think that they would want what I wanted to do because of the content they typically do, but they were pretty desperate, especially for a particular time slot. I was talking to them about like midnight to like 3 a.m. and they immediately sent me an agreement that says that if I'll do it minimum 3 days a week for 3 hours, I can pay for the slot at $50 an hour, which means I only would have to come up with, let's say, I don't know, like just to break even, you sell $50 an hour worth of advertising, and then anything on top of that is profit, So, and so my thought is that because the radio station will broadcast from its radio station app, you can so you don't have to live locally to listen to it. You can log in. I can then pipe that into Clubhouse, and then also be present on Clubhouse and put in the phone number to get call-ins to the thing. So anybody that's part of the late night thing, it's gonna be a different crowd because it'll be late at night, but I think it's gonna be fun. So basically anything. Like, I don't want to be pigeonholed into anything. I'll absolutely like kind of riff on like politics and current events and whatnot.
So are you? So I mean, this is a crowd. So are you left wing, right wing, or are you criticizing both sides, or third party, or what?
Yeah, I kind of live outside of those typical perspectives, but I find more alignment with either truly classical liberals or fiscal conservatives. But yeah, I don't really find any commonality with the MAGA Republicans or progressive Democrats. That to me, they're on the horseshoe. They're both like as disgusting as each other. They're both economic interventionists.
So you're like super far outside of the reality.
Beyond reality.
That's cool because you're easy to relate to because everybody can probably, to a large degree, to get to know you, and that's a good thing.
I relate to you fucking hardcore, Mojo. You didn't even know that. I just told you right now.
No, I totally knew that. I we bonded when you told me that in Linwood, Washington, you almost got killed at a hockey game.
Straight up, man. So is this the Odyssey app? And can you hook a man up with the?
It's quite literally AM radio.
Yeah, no, I know. What's the frequency? Oh, my G.
For fun's sake, I don't even know what does that mean.
Like 95.6.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me tell you.
Dude, come on. Sports Radio 1410 the ticket or 1310 the ticket.
Dude, I don't know. I had to Google these guys and email them. Hold on, let me pull up my email.
Yeah, I told Mojo about him being a personality here in Clubhouse, and I said, wouldn't it be cool for you to do your own podcast, your own radio show, your own YouTube channel? You don't even have to show your face. You can just have, and he at first was like, that sounds interesting, and then I pushed more, and then he understood that, this is a good idea, and now he's taking it. So I can't wait to see it all the way through the end because I think it's going to do well. I think so. In fact, I got a friend. She's married to one of Jeff Leppard musicians, and she's really good with this kind of stuff. She has her own radio show, and she knows a lot about this stuff, Mojo. So if you ever need any more information around that, she's really knowledgeable.
Yeah. So it's KKNW AM.
KKNW Northwest something. That's a pretty good one, actually. There's some random ones out there.
I'm trying to change my PTR. Does anyone know how to change the picture? Because I haven't been on Clubhouse, bro. So I'm trying to show my real face.
Yeah. You had to go to.
Oh yeah, Ann, hop in here.
So
And knows these photos. You know what I learned about you? And
what's that?
today I learned for the first time there's people that claim that they have photographs of you. That was the most interesting part of my day. Well, when Brad claimed that everybody
Everyone has a picture of that hairy bun.
a picture of your hairy bush. Like, I don't know if it got lost in the argument, but like I came off mute to say I've never seen it. So there's that.
That's strange. It has never crossed my phone screen. So.
I know. I think Brad's maxing over conscious yet.
Like, so how widely distributed was this bush? Quite.
See, I'm gonna get excited and right away.
No, see how retarded? Because, like, he just wants to say, Fred, just said whatever. Just to, like, and I'm like, you're so lame. You're so lame. But I let him have it. So I don't care if everyone on the app thinks I
Let
have
him have it?
Mm-hmm. I let him have his win.
Oh.
Let him have his win.
Brad, he was a huge faggot.
Oh.
You know, he's so tough.
I remember when the whole PTR of nudies was a thing. People were doing like private rooms, like chicks would change their PTR, and then every now and again, like you'd just go randomly look at somebody's thing, and you'd be like, "Whoa, what's going on with that?" And then you go in the hallway and like fucking, like, oh, all right.
There were those erotic rooms, right? Like sex therapists that were talking about everything, every position, and the different parts.
No. That was valuable. I'm talking about just two pervy people that get in a private room, and the guy will just tell the chick, like, "Hey, show me your tits, pretty lady," and then like they'll just PTR like their new body. Well, what's crazy is like
it's very common, very normal.
It's a random thing, but if somebody happens to look at your PTR at that moment in time, that's what they're gonna see. And now with the paid feature, you can do the look back and see it all.
Nobody likes you girl. Oh, you're different
Social comedians,
Come on, do you ever hear the Roger Mayhem catfished Dave Cook story?
Oh, a little bit. I think you were going back and forth.
No, not at all. I had a burner account, and I logged in to get into a room that I was like blocked out of, and then I was just on a burner account, and so I decided like to peruse the thing, and I saw like Dave Cook was in a room, so I pop in, and the burner account was this like Indian chick that had like, she's wearing like a mask, like it was COVID time, right? She's wearing a mask, but she's like very well endowed, like big chest, right? And I'm in the room, I'm not saying a word, I'm like down below, and all of a sudden I get a message from Dave Cook, and he'd read the bio, and in the bio, I was trying to throw like all the scent off, so like I said like I was a vegetarian, and then he was like, "Oh, you're vegetarian, it's very interesting." And back in those days, I used to hang out in these libertarian rooms, and I'm PTRing like this conversation that I had had with Dave Cook on this burner account, where he was trying to holler just because the chick had big tits.
Yeah, the Clubhouse opened up a lot, a lot of conversation, a lot of personalities that you would normally not expect. Maybe even myself, that happened quite a few times, because people think I'm some 19-year-old because I did the movie when I was 19. So they still see me that way, or they see me as Bruce Leroy. So when maybe I'm sometimes a little brash or a little outspoken, like, oh, that's not him. It throws people off. But I think people that are intelligent know that this character and this person in real life.
I mean, not to get into it, but only because you had brought it up. How's it been for you? For you, inside of you? However different today. Are you that
Damn,
age?
you got some hard Tourette syndrome.
But I'm older, right? I'm very different. It's been
You guys
40
want to
years,
donate to the campaign to elect John
Very,
Kitover?
very, it's just like anybody.
We raised $500 today on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
But don't you have flashbacks of like the old self where it just comes out in a moment without you thinking about it?
Let's say I meet a woman that I'm really attracted to, right? And like the heart kept starting in it, but now before I would go about many different ways, but not the direct way to go right to her, you know. So that's changed. But back in those days, I would say she's at a party. I would go to the right side of her, left side of her, wiggle around, all that kind of thing. So now I'm not. I still might get excitement to talk to her, right? But I do go over it, and I'm not, that young, I'm different that way. I'm different a lot with
Okay, check out this thing.
Come on, check out my boss. I want to check my boss.
Yeah, I'm not. You're the reason you're here on Clubhouse, bro.
I forgot her name. She was a
Vanity. So what you're saying is you would jerk off to Vanity before you go on a date?
No. That's all about. It's like a girl that really liked you, and then you come in and you're like, oh, I got a flame for her.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but it's just.
But that's innate in all men, right? To a certain degree. Yeah. They always want to show that protection, that kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, there's women on this app that I feel are protected against.
Yeah, Monica. That kind of.
Hey, we don't have to name names.
Wait, which Monica are you talking about? Anyway, I'll be quiet. Anyway. No, but that movie.
I'll protect you, Mojo. Thank you.
But that movie. It's pretty. Yeah. But anyway, let me go on. So.
Don't let Mojo put you in a little box. You can express yourself. Don't.
I don't want to be a fanboy.
Mojo's gonna go for it. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to be a fanboy. Be like, oh, Time Mock. Oh my gosh.
Dude, don't worry. I've asked Dragon movie is not fanboy. Yeah, hold on. I went through that same experience 4 years ago. I was chasing him around the app. I couldn't get his attention for fuck all.
Well, first of all, I'm the master, and you're gonna.
Seafood.
It's too bad that Julius, the actor that played Sherlock, is gone. Because I reached out to him years ago before he passed away and talked to him about doing some of these Comic Cons. And I'm a fan-friendly type of guy, and I really get off of them getting excited and stuff. And man, it would have been great. He was going through a tough time. There's a lot of actors too in Hollywood. He was having a tough time with some of these producers and some of these casting and all this stuff. And I called him at a bad day. I said, hey, Julius, how you doing? Yeah, how you doing, brother? And he's like, I'm like, hey, you heard about these Comic Cons, right? And he goes, no, what's up? And I go, well, they're big events, some small, some big, and they involve some celebrities, comic book collectors, video games, everything, and people come in costumes. I didn't know too much about it, but my friends told me. And I said, what do you think us, because you can make money do this, what do you think? No, man, I'm not. But really, no, we just show up. We don't have to dress in character. We just show, and we sign order. Nah, that ain't for me, man. No, yeah. I was like, I felt so bad. I was like, man, he didn't know what he was missing. That would have been great, right?
Like people like me would have loved to meet him and especially like Samurai gear with Chuck Taylor's was so comical. Like I don't know what was. Even when I was a kid, I thought that was funny as fuck, but it was cool.
Yeah, the contrast between him and I was perfect, right? With the, in his, in the Brad, yeah.
It was. I would have loved to just like, if I was gonna know. I've never really known. Like,
Yeah, that's why I reached out to him, and it was way back, and shortly afterward he died of prostate cancer. Yeah. But not to put anything down. I mean,
R.I.P. What was
Julius Carey the Third.
Oh, shout out to Julius Carey. But how you doing tonight, though? And how's everyone doing?
Wonderful. All that talk just had me thinking of, another warrior out there that lost a battle with his, own mind, Mr. Jason David Frank, the White Ranger, first Green Ranger, then White Ranger, then Red Ranger, then White Ranger. And he
said that. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was going through a lot. His stepdaughter, and he was going through a divorce. Damn, I know.
I just had, at the time, just because it was COVID, it was a person on Instagram that I was feeding to, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what they do, and, this is the lifestyle. And it was during, that discovery of, oh, this, is like a full year-round touring sort of thing that actually, brings a lot of success for people in areas all over the world, like Indianapolis, fucking Topeka, Kansas, fucking all over the board, and then just like that, and
that's another fallen guy that I was like, damn, we lost another one. Like that was I grew up watching on Power Rangers, and that guy died.
Dude, it's with Kimberly, it's morphin' time, dude. It's morphin' time.
I know. He committed suicide. And the fucked up part is he committed suicide. So what was going on? I don't know what was going on with that dude.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt really quickly.
No, go ahead, Tom.
I was at an event at a Comic-Con, I don't know, it was a long time ago, it was when he was alive, and a couple of Power Rangers knew who I was. They invited me to a thing, a get-together at this place in Florida, by the beach, and we were all hanging out, and he was there. Pretty nice guy. We didn't get into talking too much, but you never know. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You never know who, you never know what's going on in people's lives. True. Personally, right? It's interesting because you would have never known that not too long after he would commit suicide. Yeah.
That's right. So be kind.
So you was it long after? Was it soon after when you met him, or?
Yeah. That's about a year. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I didn't, because at the time when Power Rangers came out, I didn't get into it because it was almost like WWE when I was a kid. When I was not a kid, when I was, I'd say 21, 22, I looked at it like too goofy and campy, right? And so I didn't get into Power Rangers. But then the generation after, I saw they were into it. It's not that I was meeting some of these Power Rangers and looking down on them, but as a kid or a young man, I was like, this is just campy garbage. But then I could say the same thing the way people looked at my stuff. So
by the time that I saw the movie you were in, and I don't know what movies were after that, but it was I was born in '85, so unfortunately
were born when it came out, so you probably.
No, but it came out before I was born.
No, it came in '85.
Yeah, it came out in '85.
Okay, so I was like, right, I was little, so I don't remember. So by the time I saw it, it was probably like 5-10 years. I can't remember. Like it was at least 6 to 10. But
Time out. What are some of the movies that you grew up? If we were talking about you, would it be like Enter the Dragon and shit like that?
Well, of course, because I grew up, following obviously any of those great martial arts films, but I liked all movies when I was a kid. I liked Paul Newman, Sidney Poitier, Robert Redford.
What did you think of Game of Death? You familiar with that one, right?
Oh yeah, that was that was the way Bruce Lee died during the shooting of that movie, and they because Bruce Lee was such a bigger than life and so popular, they realized we should make some money because he shot like I'd say 30% of the movie, and they hired a lookalike that didn't look anything like him, and it was some of the stuff that they were doing to they even overlapped his face, like it was really bad.
Are you familiar with Grandmaster Jihan Jay?
It sounds familiar, but I think that's
he's the guy that he was in Game of Death, but he's the one that founded Hapkido.
Oh yeah.
I actually went into a dojo, if that's what we're gonna call it, in San Bruno, California, with a guy by the name of Master Young. And Master Young had studied under Jihan Jay. That guy was cool as shit. He got out of teaching people because he didn't want students that didn't want to learn the entire art. He wanted to teach people how to heal people, as well as teach them how to defend themselves and to do things. And when Master Young found that his students didn't care about like all of the things that he had been taught, he didn't think that it was worth teaching, and so he left.
Yeah, well, there's that whole history, right? Even Kung Fu, Chinese styles, they have Qigong, Tai Chi, a lot of well studied teachers that know about healing, and it's very different when things get to America. With this capitalism, right? It's all about the money, and just trying to market the athleticism more than anything else. What are the top things that you talked about with the I Ching? What are the things that kind of resonated?
With Jihan Jay?
No, the I Ching, the book when you read it.
Oh yeah.
What are the things that kind of sparked you a little bit?
Yeah, I think the thing that it was different people getting different things out of it. For me, I focus a lot on politics, and I have a distrust for authoritarian government styles. I was drawn to the critiques of that, whereas other people were drawn to other areas, right? I think this is something that's going to require multiple readings, because the first time through, it's like you gravitate towards the things that connect with what you already believe to be true, right? And it's like, oh, okay, that kind of reinforces an idea. But I think it's going to require multiple readings to really drink.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. When it comes to those kind of things, you have to allow your own point of view to put it aside to try to take it in.
And isn't that the whole point of it, right? It's it's very interesting.
That's the point of any technical learning something, right? That you do your best to, put your own point of view.
I gotta die to self. I hate that term.
Yeah, that is so. But the whole thing about that is there's so much that we don't know about ourselves. Yeah, it's interesting. When you're an actor, these are things you go through training. You're peeling the layers off because an actor has, well, everybody has some, well, I'd say passion. Some haven't been realized, but if you're after something like you have passion, and a lot of times that passion is stilted until you really know you gotta have to make money, you have to survive, you have a family, and then all of a sudden the layers fall apart. Like if you're a salesman and you have to knock on doors the old way, right? The old way. Someone before they develop this need, this desperate need, to survive. I'm not gonna go talk to no stranger. I'm not. And all of a sudden, it drops off, and they become this person that's talkative. That's really, it's a learning curve, but it's interesting about that.
I would say that the early going of sales training, because this is the area that I've spent my life, you do get taught to like come out of your shell and talk, and then you get to a point where you realize like that's not even the key to the success. The key is really to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like listening. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to ask a question, a provocative question that inspires them to speak, and then you fucking listen. And then if you really listen, they will tell you exactly how they want to be sold to. You just have to, and you have to ask the right questions. Shut the fuck. Shutting up is the biggest lesson that you could learn in sales.
Yeah. That's very astute of you, because I like the saying I heard once in a while. Learn how to see other people's world, or be in other people's world. So you shut up and listen, and they'll tell you, if you have that type of personality, or you don't even have to, you just listen. Some people just talk, but if you ask certain questions, that they'll step right in and talk, and then you could really.
Yeah. So my process is like this. I think of it as you have a current state, and then you have a future state, and then you have the work that I have to do as a salesperson is to fill the gap between the current state and the future state. And so let's say let's keep it as simple as possible. Let's say somebody has a roof on their home. Their current state is they have a roof, maybe it's 30 years old. The current state is a 30-year-old roof. Now, they also may have a current state where they don't have, they weren't anticipating putting on a new roof on their home and anticipating that expense. But the current state is that their roof needs to be replaced or repaired. And if you can walk them through, okay, here's the current situation. Here's what the future would look like. Wouldn't it be nice to make sure that you don't have a leaky roof, and all the problems that could create, and all the unintended expenses that would create. And so you get them to tell you about what the current situation is, all in their words. Like, they define the problem. I don't define the problem. They define the problem. Then I help them describe the future state, where they not only have they identified the problem, they've identified the solution. That, like, yeah, a new roof would be the shit, especially if it had a warranty, especially if I could pay over time, especially if there was zero down. Like, and you get them to you get them to acknowledge the current, dream up the future, and then all of the work that you do in between is solving the problems that they have of, like, they've got budget constraints. They don't have the money to pay for a roof, so you have to figure out how are you going to make that work, and that's when the salesmanship comes in. But if you can get them to acknowledge that they have a problem, and then get them to envision a solution and trust you enough that you can deliver that solution, well, then you just then you do the work.
Yeah. And so, did you ever? I'm sure you did, but I want to know the process when it was most successful. I'm really intent. I set an intention, and I used to do it when I was younger, when I was fighting competition, things like this. You know, you would set an intention, but it was more like I would visualize. You know, I would see myself with my hand raised at the end of the fight. I would see myself go through the motions. Let's say this guy, he liked to box more than he liked to kick. He liked to move more. And another guy might slug. So I would see myself counter everything he would do. I would see myself, if it was a tough moment, I would be relaxed. All these kind of things. But as I got older and started to understand more about, and even recently, right, I told you doing some Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, which is a whole nother thing. That's completely about letting go, right? And when I say letting go, I'm talking about, he talks about dimensional, being in a dimension ruled by time, space, and matter, right? In this 3D dimension that we're and having a clear intention. He talks about the science, right? The science of thought. The thought has an electrical charge. So when you have an intention, it's literally an electrical charge, right? With the thought. Every thought has an electrical charge. And the heart is a magnet, right? So the feelings that come with the intention. When you elevate them, right, you ascend that. So when you do this kind of thing, you're setting these maybe lofty to the average person. These intentions might be very lofty. You know, if someone, let's say someone that doesn't make more than $30,000 a year, they want to make 150 or maybe $1 million, right? They would set the intention, write that exactly, every detail, specific of what that money means to them, you know, and what it provides for them. Maybe their family, their friends, maybe they have a business that's going to provide a lot for the community, and you want to get your feelings elevated. But that would happen naturally if it's something that fires you up, right? So when you go into the meditation, you're going into not the known, Raj, not the known, which is the 3D dimension. So when you're sitting down, you have to let go. This is the skill that developed. You let go of time, space, matter. That means your body, your identity, all these things. And then you get to a point where you're nowhere, no time, no place. And that's what you would call quantum physics, the field, right? The divine. And then you come out of the meditation, you did your job, and you go about your day. And all kinds of interesting synchronicities start to happen.
Interesting. Yeah. My approach to selling is it's completely against the way that most people are taught to sell. Like, people are taught to sell where you build this yes momentum. That's what they would refer to it as, where you ask questions where you get a yes, and then you think that you're just going to keep asking questions till you get to the you just sign right here, and then they're just going to say yes. And I think once upon a time that may have worked, because I don't think it would have gotten taught that way as best practice if it didn't have its day in the sun. But what I find more effective, and what's been effective for a long time, is to do the exact opposite, where a lot of people now don't want to be sold to. They feel like if they buy, like somehow like they got taken advantage of. And so what you do is you lean into the idea that they want to say no. And because that makes them feel more in control. So the questions that you frame, you make sure that the no means yes. Meaning, if I was to simply say, hey, can we meet and I can take a look at that roof, would you be opposed to meeting Tuesday at 2? So now I'm asking a question in a way where they're going to say the word no, which is what they wanted to say, but the no means yes. The no means no. I wouldn't be. They say no. I wouldn't be opposed to that because no is a more comfortable thing than saying yes, especially to a salesperson. And so it sounds like it's super manipulative. All you're doing, though, is you could argue that it would be manipulative to ask the question, to frame it in any way, because you're trying to get an in-state, desired goal of a sale. It just, how do people want to be sold to? They want to say no? Okay, great. Let me ask questions that they can say no to that still meets my objective. And so it's an interesting thing that gets you a lot of traction. And it also, it causes them to put their guard down. And that's the most important thing, is that if when you're a salesperson, the first obstacle you have is how do you get them to not be defensive, and how do you get them to not, see you as a guy that's utilizing sales tactics, right? And one of those things is trying to figure out, well, when they engage with salespeople, what is their experience typically going to be? And then you do the things that are opposite of that, and so now they're having a different type of experience, and you can make it super engaging and really genuinely connect. There's just certain things that when it comes to the important parts of how you ask a question, you just got to make sure that you're asking it in a way that doesn't cause their defenses to go up. And because that builds the resistance. And if they don't feel the resistance, they're more likely to buy. The other thing is, a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. You should do this. I'm going to make it affordable for you. I would rather go the other direction and then just say, yeah, I don't know what your financial situation is, but this can set people back. I'm not sure if this is like, I do this thing where I take it away and I create
the negative deposit.
Yeah, I create all of I will acknowledge all the obstacles that typically get in the way. Most salespeople don't have the confidence to do that. Right. But if you do that, then all of a sudden you find them negotiating with you of if you tell somebody that the home that they have pride in it, they can essentially allude to the idea that you don't think they can afford the roof. They're going to now tell you that they can afford the roof, right? Rather than you trying to tell them how cheap it's going to be. And that's the other thing. Now you're going to meet them in this negotiation cycle where they want a lower price. If you tell them up front,